Friends, we back with another video on guess who it's T. It's back. I'm back with another video on JasonBlaha, strength and fitness, the diet slave, bro. This is even more hilarious. This is incredible. This video, man. JasonBlaha says the U.S. data shows early humans ate around 80% plants. Man, are you serious? Early data shows humans ate around 80% plants. This guy, where does he get this shit from? He's crazy. What kind of plants? The plants that we're eating today, they're all engineered by man. They're engineered, bro. What are you talking about? They can't be found in nature. So what the fuck would you eat as a hunter running through a forest? I know, you want to eat leaves in a forest, yeah? Maybe dig up some roots. This guy's insane. Let's review this video. I have to hear what Blaha has to say now. It's gonna blurt out.
Morning coffee.
Your morning coffee. You think people made coffee back then too? Yeah, they ate the coffee beans they found in the hills growing. Is that it? In the forest somewhere, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Blaha, yeah. It's toxic, it's poison, and it's sprayed, man, your coffee. So enjoy yourself poisoning yourself and accelerate aging, deteriorating yourself faster than you're aging by drinking poison every day. Yeah, I just enjoy poisoning myself so I can destroy and age and weaken my body faster. Yes, this is great.
Get sexy as hell. Well, I thought I would chat with you guys about something this morning. And what's kind of funny is that I'm going to take the stance that it doesn't matter. But, well, it matters, but it doesn't.
It doesn't matter, but I'm going to take this out. It does matter. Okay, Blaha.
It should not affect our dietary choices today. So, I saw something come through my feed. So people say, how do you find stuff? Sometimes it just appears in my feed when I'm looking at stuff. Appears in news.
Oh, it comes up and it just disappears. Oh, the fake stuff? It came up and the fake stuff disappeared. It's to fake you out. Yes. Okay, Blaha.
Stories. And then I go dig into the research. But I saw a thing where a number of archaeologists have used, again, very...
He goes digging in the research? He's digging in the research, bro. This guy is so artificial, man. He loves the artificial world. This guy is so artificial. He's into artificial diets, artificial hormones, artificial strength, artificial muscles, just everything to escape anything natural. This guy is the number one person go-to.
Types of carbon isotope testing, and they found a bunch of earlier humans in an area, and they realized they were eating.
Yeah, they found some earlier humans because we were nomadic, and they were starving, and they didn't find any animals. So guess what they ate? They dug up roots and anything so they could survive. Does that mean it's healthy? I could eat bark off a tree when I'm starving, but does it mean it's healthy for me because I ate bark? Oh, guess what? Archaeologists, they dug up these dinosaurs, and guess what they found in their bellies? Rocks! They found fucking stones in their bellies. I wonder why. To curb the pain of starvation because there was nothing else to eat. But does that mean it's healthy because they ate a bunch of stones? Hell no.
Yeah, probably an 80% plant-based diet, maybe 20% animal-based. And they thought, they're like, look, we think with the testing, as more people do this sort of testing, they're going to find this to be largely
What is he talking about?
True everywhere. And they pointed out that we need this information because it's also useful to dispel myths, because people today keep doing fad diets based upon what they think ancient humans ate.
What do you mean they're doing fad diets according to what ancient humans ate? We obviously are eating meat, and they've incorporated these engineered foods. Everything is being farmed now. We're not hunting in the wild. So what do you mean people are eating these fad diets of the past? It's not a fad diet. If it's your natural diet, how could something natural be a fad diet? This is how stupid Blaha is. If you're a hunter in the forest, what are you going to eat? Animals, because we're carnivores. We hunt animals, we eat them. They're healthy for us. We don't eat plants. And so he's going to tell you we want to go back to our fad diets. That's not a fad diet, it's a natural diet. The diets that we have now, that people are creating, vegan diets, paleo, and all these, they give these names to these diets, these weird diets, what people are eating in some region. Let me ask you this question. If you lived in the ocean in Acapulco, right? You live on the beach. What would you be eating? A lot of fish. Marlin. If I lived in Mexico on the beach, I'd be eating marlin, a bunch of fish and other stuff. Mariscos, bro. You know what I mean? Plus some meat, of course. But I'm going to be eating shitloads of fish. That's why I'm going to be so healthy. Because it's available. It's bioavailable. It's much more available in a beach town. Fish, seafood is much more bioavailable because it's there. Well, you live in a city. What do you have to eat? Well, you got to go to the market. You got to look around for some farmed fish, this, that, whatever the fuck they got there. Some beef, whatever. I don't know. There's no ranchers around. In some natural places in the world, like Mexico, Central South America, they still ranch stuff naturally. The beef that you buy there in the stores, it's natural beef. You can see it's natural. The fish that you get is from the ocean. They're going to haul it in. You're going to eat it. It's not going to be farmed. A lot of it is not going to be farmed. A lot of it is just wild roaming stuff roaming around wildly. Yeah. Even the animals, when they have them in these farms, and we can call them farms in Mexico, they let them roam freely around. They're roaming around, eating grass, doing a bunch of things there. It's a natural environment. They don't do very much to the animals there. They just let them roam around in a natural environment. Then they slaughter them and you eat them.
And here's what I'm going to say. I think that's the only reason that this is valuable knowledge, other than for people who are working on their PhD in archaeology. For everyone else, the only...
I think everybody should eat what they think is best for them. I eat what is best for me. I don't tell people what to eat, man. I just do what is best for me. And right now, carnivore, my natural carnivore diet, which I've been eating most of my life, which kept me healthy, I found that the fruit and the vegetables made me sick. That's all. And so I went back to eating something natural so I can restore myself, because that shit will destroy you over time. And so, yeah, I decided that I would go back to my natural diet. That's all. And I'm just eating that again. And I'm transforming rapidly. I'm becoming really good again, like really good. As far as Blaha, he's just going to look more and more terrible eating an unnatural diet. Something that's unnatural and not eating his natural diet. It's like everything, like I said. I don't tell people I don't tell them how they should lift. I don't tell them what they should lift, how they should lift. I don't tell them what to eat. They can decide on their own. They're adults.
Fitness implications are that it might dispel some of the myths so people quit doing dumb stuff. Okay, that's it. Because we shouldn't be basing our eating patterns on that. And again, that's something I brought up with the other dietary approaches. And I've said that no matter what I eat, how humans ate.
Morgan Riley just realized that adulting can be offside.
Why do I pay the same for car insurance as that?
There is a beautiful place where everything looks better and you feel amazing.
Tens of thousands or millions of years ago, because let's not call them humans, and I hate it when people do that. They're calling it humans. I'm sorry, we wouldn't recognize a crow.
Oh, we shouldn't call them humans. What should we call them? I know, Neanderthals, right?
Mangan or Homo erectus as a human. We would not consider them human today if we found one.
Yes, we would. We would consider them human. They've been drawing on, they even had skills. They could draw, pick pictures on caves and stuff. They were intelligent. They may have lived in caves and they were in some areas, there wasn't anything there to construct. So they lived in caves and they drew some pictures. I can't tell you other parts of society where they lived or what they created, because we can't find their cities because they disappear. Our cities will disappear one day to nature. Nature will make it disappear. We can't go so far back in history to find out how these people lived like beyond 10,000 years ago. You know what I mean? You can't find cities after that because they've disappeared. They've gone the way of nature, has taken them over, and they go. Even these Mayan cities, some of them, the forests have overtaken them. They go very quickly. They can't even find them. They're excavating a lot of them now. They found some. They keep excavating them constantly. I mean, even Chichen Itza, one of the most famous ones in Mexico, Chichen Itza, it was covered when the guy discovered it. Then they had to uncover it with, nature was taking it over. And so they uncovered it slowly. They opened it up, they cleaned it up, and now you can see the city. But like I said, nature tends to have a tendency to take over take over everything. So you can't find these lost societies, how they lived or what they lived in. We don't know who was more primitive and who was more advanced, which society lived more advanced, which lived more primitive. You can't really tell because these societies have disappeared. So how far back is he talking about? We going here?
Right? We would consider them to be a very smart chimpanzee.
A very smart chimpanzee. So we're going back what? Couple of million years ago. And how do you know we were chimpanzees? Do you have any proof? You see, this is Blaha. He's fucking insane. He thinks you came from a monkey. There's no proof that we came from any monkeys, okay? That we evolved from a monkey. This is all bullshit. This whole evolution thing is bullshit. We don't know where these animals came from. If they went extinct, how could they evolve? Here's a question. If the planet, when they go extinct, these animals, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, dinosaurs, animals, whatever, when they went extinct, how could they have evolved? Evolved from what? Extinction? See what I mean? Nobody knows how or where these things got planted on this planet. You have to be whole to be functioning. You can't just come from one thing and then operate. You have to have a heart, blood, this, that, skin, bones to be working. That's why, unless you were there to see the event, how it happened, you would never know. You will never know. It's kind of obvious. Something out there is controlling this environment, is doing something. How did the ozone reconstruct itself? We don't know, because there's intervention from outside in the universe. Something is controlling this place. You just don't know it.
A slightly more human-looking chimpanzee who can use a rock.
There are chimpanzees out there. You can go into a forest. You can find monkeys, gorillas, and chimpanzees. And what about it? He's trying to tell you you're a chimpanzee. How the fuck could you be a chimpanzee if you're a human? He's insane.
Not going to be intellectually.
Maybe he's a chimpanzee.
Where we are. Okay. Intelligence is not going to be there. Anything else, because that's a big problem that we had, and we'll jump into what these researchers found. And I see that a lot. The whole super carnivore thing gets brought up, and people are like, "Well, early humans, you don't mean humans like us, right?"
Early humans? Yeah, they're like us. They were like us. They were actually better than us. Yeah. Think about it. We've only become technological in the last, what? Not even but 100 years? In the last 100 years, we became technological. What happened before that? Nothing. We lived very primitively, if you could call it that. We were still fighting with swords and shit and whatever, doing weird stuff. We weren't advanced. We weren't that advanced. We just became advanced now. What changed? How did we become so technological now and not in the past? So I'm trying to explain to you what changed. We were exactly the same as we were in the past as we are now.
When you say that, I hope you don't mean Homo sapien, because that's not what they found. They're calling her early humans. They were talking about Homo erectus was a super carnivore.
You can call him any name you want, but they were still human. They look exactly like us: eyes, nose, mouth, arms, limbs. They walked on two legs.
They pretty much hunted stuff into extinction, everything in their area. That's why they had to move some.
Okay, if they hunted everything to extinction, like you say they did, and had to move to another area, then what would they eat if there was nothing else to eat? Oh, I know. They didn't want to starve, so they ate some plants. Is that it?
They literally hunted every
poisonous plants in the forest
around them into extinction. They were primarily carnivorous, based upon the data that we have. That's what we're finding.
The funny part, I don't know how you can kill anything or eat anything to extinction. Small groups of humans roaming around ate these animals to extinction. That's kind of ridiculous. They may have just moved around in the area because animals, they tend to migrate in different areas. So that was the problem of migration. Maybe they migrated and there was nothing there for them to eat. They were starving. They dug up some, I don't know, roots, and they ate them to survive, to get them over to find some animals. I don't know.
Homo erectus hasn't existed for hundreds of thousands of years. And so when that gets brought up, you have to
does he have any proof of this stuff? Nobody does. Yeah, man. These are all theories. That's why they call it theories. That's why they name it. They go, it's just a theory. It's a theory.
White people, number one, that's a different species. So do you think that your GI tract and enzymes and genetics are going to be a perfect match for what they ate?
Yeah, would it be a perfect match? Well, only the last 2,000 years have we started eating some plants. So we tolerate it, but we have never adapted to it. It's impossible because the structure of our intestinal structure has never evolved to the point like a cow's. We can't eat plants. We're not herbivores. We can't digest them. You can eat them, but that doesn't mean it's healthy for you. You could, like I said, you could put cardboard in your mouth if you're starving and eat it. You can eat paper, but does that mean it's healthy for you? No.
They also have, again, are less intelligent than us and shorter lived. And that's the problem with that. I'm like, okay, cool, so what was the average lifespan of that species? Because, I mean, if we're going to talk about eating entirely meat, and we need to talk about certain things like gut health, lipid profiles, everything else. Cool. How old are you? Because that species lived to be about 30, 35. Okay, so that's what you want your lifespan to be. I mean, if you're going to use them as the model, you want to take a species, and model its diet that was smaller and weaker than any of us as lifters.
No, they were actually bigger and stronger than us. It's a known fact. It's a known fact. They dug up some fossils. They found that these people had all their teeth intact, and they were actually taller and bigger than us. So that's a known fact. So he's lying there.
With probably 40 or 50 less average IQ points.
They were actually stronger than us. What makes you think they had lower IQ points? Because they didn't do technical stuff. They were pretty intelligent, trust me. They had bigger brains.
Maybe not that much, depends on the person. So basically, a creature that was smaller, weaker than you, probably could not.
I like how he calls them a creature smaller and weaker. I think he's one of them. He devolved when he came out of the womb. He came out like one of them, so he's upset now. He's upset now. He's projecting. He's coping.
Special ed classes in school.
You went to special ed class, bro? Special ed classes in school? Because you have low IQ? Okay. Now I know why you became a lifting coach. That's all you could do is lift.
Would not be able to graduate kindergarten. Would not be able to speak fluently like we're doing right now, even if taught.
Again, there's been caves found like over hundreds of thousand years ago or something. Caves with pictures and stuff. They depicted stuff. Shows that they were intelligent. They cared about the elderly. They cared about wounded people. They cared about each other. They hunted together in packs. They were intelligent people, trust me. They didn't have all the comforts we have now. They weren't at this point technologically, but they were pretty intelligent, believe me. Possibly more intelligent than us.
Live to be 30 years old. That's your model. Okay. Knock yourself out. But I need you to stop speaking. You need to stop using complicated tools like your keyboard so that we can't hear your stupidity, and you need to go ahead and die off by 35. Okay, fine.
Yes, Blaha, we need you to die off at 35, but you're still here for some reason. It's amazing. It's amazing, The Walking Dead.
But it's the same when people bring up the paleo stuff. Paleo stuff has been vastly misrepresented. But then we come over to, do you want your lifespan to be that of what paleo man was? Because we come over to, because it's natural, it must be the way to go.
Yeah, if it's natural, that's the way you want to go. Yeah, natural food. You don't want to eat engineered or processed food. Yeah, or ultra processed, or food that's been sprayed to death or whatever. Yeah, you want natural food. Yes, Blaha.
Well, it's not natural to take antibiotics when you get an infection. You're supposed to die.
Well, because it's a business. you probably wouldn't get an infection. I don't know what you would get out there in the wild. That look, the strong survive, the weak die. It's evolution or whatever you want to call it. It's just life, bro. I don't know. I can't tell you. Okay, I have no proof in the past what people did. They didn't have dentists or doctors or anything like that. So I'm sure they were very careful what they were doing. And like I said, they exhumed these bodies and they had all their teeth. So teeth is definitely an indicator whether you are unhealthy. Now, if you have to see the dentist, you're an unhealthy person. I'm sorry.
It's natural when you get a major infection, potential risk of septosis in your body, you don't get an antibiotic from it. Nature says you're supposed to die.
Nature doesn't say you're supposed to die. Your body usually can fight the infection. It can fight it. You really don't need the medicine. We're just trying to take the medicine to hurry up and cure it a lot quicker than it would go away by itself. Because believe me, I've had ear infections, all kinds of stuff, really bad ones in Florida. And both ears, they were leaking, it was hurting. I never went to the doctor. I didn't get any medication. And the infection cleared up because I was young. I've had many incidences where I had an ear infection more than once. And I've had other infections and they cleared up and they went away. They went away, man. So yeah. So I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't use any intervention of medicine or this and that to cure my problems. I was very stubborn. I didn't go to the doctor or a hospital. And they went away. So he's like trying to convince you would die from all this stuff. Now, your body is meant to keep you alive, providing you don't poison it. If you keep your body healthy and strong, then it's strong enough to fight off infections. But if your body is weakened because you keep eating these poisonous foods, they have poison in them like alcohol, drugs, and the salads and whatever, and the fruits and shit, all the oxalates, the poison, whatever. If you keep poisoning coffee, if you keep poisoning your body, it's in a weakened state. What did you expect, right?
You want to be natural or not.
It's just a business. It's just a business. They're making money off you, trying to convince you need this shot, that shot. You don't need any of these medications. It's all business. It's big pharma, bro. Everybody, the drug business, it's a known fact. The drug business, they're drug dealers. The pharmacy people, these pharmacists, they're drug dealers. They're just the modern day drug dealers. They have equated it being that they're legal drugs, get it? But it's really, they're drugs. They've just made it legal so they can make money off you.
Follow the natural order of things and quit doing that. You're supposed to just die. I mean, that's how silly the argument is.
Yes, we're just supposed to die. Yes, Blaha. We're going to die from an infection. Oh my God, what happens if we survive and we didn't take any medicine? What does that say, Blaha?
That's what I think of. Some of the most deadly poisons in the world are found in nature, but they're natural. It's good for you.
Yeah, some of the deadliest poisons are found in nature, definitely. People have survived snake bites and things like that. They usually suck out the poison or whatever. They just cut it off really quickly. They figured it out quickly. People lived out in nature. They figured out these things quickly through experience, how to survive out there.
Okay. But the same people will eat livestock that we've selectively bred. All right, that's cool.
We have no choice. We have to eat livestock because we're not hunting. Not everybody out there, millions of people are not roaming the forests after making too many babies in the world. Well, all 6 billion of us are not going to be running in forests and hunting now. You understand me?
But that's kind of the point. The fact that people have gotten paleo diets wrong and it's all been misrepresented. Paleo humans got most of their calories still from plants, and we've known that. Bugs.
No such diet exists. There's no such thing as paleo diets made up by a bunch of people, okay? You could call it paleo, whatever you want. It's not paleo. It just means starvation. That's all it means. It means they were moving, they were starving, they ate something that's not healthy for them to sustain them until they could find animals that would make them healthy and they can eat again. That's all.
You want to eat bugs. So I don't want to hear that from people either when they talk about.
That's just the modern world, crazy people. They want you to eat bugs. Why would you ever eat a bug unless, of course, you're starving? I don't know. You don't have any food. You don't have money or food or whatever you can't consume, so you eat these things. It's like the coconut worms. These people eat coconut worms. Maybe they got used to eating them. They lived such a poor lifestyle. Sometimes it gets caught up with people. They eat so poorly, and then they think what is poor is good, so they just continue eating that stuff. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But does it mean it's healthy for you? That is the question. Like you and your lifting slave bullshit. Does that mean it's healthy for you? Absolutely not. It is not healthy for a human body to do labor work. Absolutely not.
Oh, people want us to eat bugs, which I don't want to eat bugs. I'm not going to eat bugs. But then they'll talk about paleo diet, and I'm going to be paleo. Well, why aren't you eating the bugs then? You need to be living on potatoes and crickets. But they ate grains, they ate carbs. But that's kind of what we come back to what they found with this other stuff with earlier man. They're like, they were eating mostly vegetables and tube vegetables and cooking them. Like we found tons and tons, based on what we're seeing, it looks like they were eating tons of cooked root vegetables. Those were the biggest staples in their diet.
I wonder, where did they find these so-called vegetables you keep talking about? The vegetables we eat today are engineered. They didn't eat vegetables.
Supplementing it with meat as they could get it of different types.
Let me get this straight. They ate vegetables, but they supplemented it with meat, or they ate meat and supplemented that shit when they couldn't find meat. Man, this guy's crazy. What is he trying to convince us?
We see whatever they can forage, fruits, berries, grains, all that stuff. Right? That's pretty.
Oranges, fruits, berries, and grains. Oranges, they don't exist. They're a crossbreed between the, what is it, palmetto and I forget some other fruit. They don't exist. They were engineered by man, oranges. Hello.
Pretty much what they're saying. This is what we're sure of. We're looking at the carbon isotopes. This is what was in their body. This is what they ate. And okay. At least that would the only.
Have you seen the breed of dogs that exist today? They didn't exist when I was a kid. Those types of dogs, they didn't exist when I was a child. The dogs that they have today, I don't even know where they came from, man. These dogs, these weird looking dogs.
The benefit of that, it would dispel this myth that people have that any sort of historic human that we would think of as a human being lived on a mostly meat diet. Okay? And what I would point out is that...
No, we lived on a meat diet. That's what keeps us healthy. Yes, meat diet makes us healthy. We eat plants, we become extremely unhealthy, we get diseases, and we die. Like you're full of diseases. That's why you keep eating plants. You enjoy being diseased and looking the way you do. Terrible.
That the ones who still did in the more modern eras, like the Inuits, have shorter lifespans, and they have genetic adaptations. So that's how...
They have shorter lifespans? Can you prove it? Show us, prove it. Prove that this person has shorter lifespan. I don't know, because somebody told you something somewhere? Nah, man. You have to actually prove it, and you can't.
How rare it was. Even in humans, they have completely different adaptations in their body.
It's a known fact, carnivore people live longer, a lot longer.
To handle it.
And they look younger, too.
Right. The Inuits can't go into they're resistant to ketosis. So don't tell me you're emulating the Inuits if you're going into ketosis, because they didn't. But all that aside, I mean, it's interesting to see this stuff, and I get where they're coming from, and it's useful to dispel myths, because for some reason people seem to have these really bizarre...
It's easy to dispel myths. So what he's saying is a myth. You understand me? So it's easy to dispel his myths.
It's an irrational idea that because early humans ate a certain way, who lived way shorter lifespans than we did, that's how we should eat.
They lived way longer lifespans, and they had their teeth. If they have their teeth, they're going to live a longer lifespan.
That's not logical or scientific. That's not even logical. Because again, we've had enormous adaptations to agriculture, even in our gene flow.
We have never had any adaptations. He's lying. We tolerate, but we have not adapted to these things. He's absolutely lying. You cannot adapt to poison. Your body cannot adapt to being poisoned. You understand me? On a daily.
The enzymes and stuff that our bodies produce. Like, we are not exactly identical.
I don't even think he understands what that means, adapted or adaptation. When you climb to a higher altitude and there's less oxygen up there, how does your body adapt to the lower level of oxygen? How does it do that? Think about that. It has to do something to adapt to that. Okay. When you lift weights, your body adapts to what? Lifting weights. How does it adapt to that? Okay. Now here's the question. You poisoning yourself, how does your body adapt to the poison? How does it adapt to being poisoned?
In terms of those things to humans, even 20,000 years ago, we just aren't. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next.
That's been absolutely, yes, misinformative. I'll see you in the next one. Touch, think about that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Friends, helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. JasonBlaha, man. This guy really takes the cake in misinformation. See you later, man.